For our next scene, the title's called There's Way More to It. The setting's a cozy, quiet coffee shop. Sarah and Jake sit at a small table by the window, sipping on their lattes, chatting casually. Next to them sits a third person, Chris. He's reading a book, and their conversation drifts into Chris's nosy ears, and he can't help but join in. So, Sarah, stirring her latte. So Jake, I said I'm trying to figure out why the sky looks different during sunset. I mean, it's just because of the angle of the sun. Jake nodding. Yeah, the sun's lower, so it spreads the light differently. It's probably just basic physics, right? Chris, overhearing, smiling, putting down their book. You're not wrong, but there's really way more to it than that. Sarah, curious, glancing at Chris. Really? I thought it was just about light scattering or something. Chris leans in slightly. Well, yeah, that's part of it, but it really goes deeper. You're talking about the railway scattering, which is why the sky is blue during the day, but during sunset, the light from the sun has to pass through more of the Earth's atmosphere, and that's when things get interesting. Jake, intrigued. More interesting than just different angles? Chris. Yeah, way more. See, the atmosphere is made up of like tiny particles, like dust and moistures, even pollution, yuck. And as the light travels through the thicker part of the atmosphere, the shorter blue and violet wavelengths get scattered away, leaving the reds, orange, and pinks. That's why sunsets are so colorful. Sarah, eyes lighting up. Oh, that makes sense. So the air quality could even change the colors we see, right? Chris. Yes, exactly. After a storm or in a place with less pollution, you might get a cleaner, more vibrant sunset. But there are a lot of particles, say after a volcano eruption or in heavily polluted areas, the sky can take on deeper reds and even purples. Jake, leaning back. Wow, I never thought about it in that way. I figured it was all pretty straightforward. I mean, that's light, right? Chris, laughing. That was one of the things with science. It seems straightforward, but once you dig into it, there's always more to uncover. Take gravity, for instance. Most people think it's just stuff falling towards the Earth, but it's also what holds galaxies together, wraps space-time, and impacts light itself. Sarah, grinning. Okay, so basically every simple answer has layers. Chris, nodding. Yeah, pretty much. Like in science, you start with an observation, right? Why the sky is colorful at sunset, but then when you ask the deeper questions, you start pulling the threads, and suddenly you're unraveling something much bigger than you had imagined. Jake laughs. It's like one of those 1,000 rabbit holes you can never really fully get out of. Chris, smiling. Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of it. You learn something new, and it opens the door to more questions, more possibilities. It's not just about knowing a fact. It's about understanding why behind it. That's what makes science so exciting. Sarah, playfully. So what you're saying is we're never really going to have all the answers. Chris chuckles. No, not in this lifetime, but that's part of the adventure. Every answer gives us a better understanding of the world. It's like peeling an onion. There's always another layer beneath the surface. Jake, nodding thoughtfully. So next time we're looking at the sunset, we'll know it's not just a pretty view. It's light, particles, atmospheric layers, and way more than meets the eye. Chris, grinning. Yeah, exactly. That's just one tiny part of the universe. Now imagine all the other things out there that we haven't even started to fully grasp yet. Sarah raises her cup. Well, here's to pulling those threads and never stopping. Jake lifting his cup. To the never-ending layers. Chris lifting their cups. Yeah, and to asking the questions that lead us deeper. Yeah.